What's going on, folks out there? I'm Amos Morrell III, and welcome to our prep preview show. I'm joined by NOLA.com, the Times Picker you and writer Mike Strom. Mike, how are you doing today?
Good, Amos. It's good to see you. Good to be here.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about the upcoming season, and let's talk about the Catholic League. I know that's a league that's very popular and a lot of talented teams, so let's get started. Who do you think are some of the guys that are going to make a big splash in that league this year?
Well, I think the top teams are going to be Rummel, Brother Martin, and John Curtis. You know, the Catholic League, this is going to be a year like no other, with the addition of John Curtis to the mix. You're adding a 26-time state champion to one of the most storied districts in the state, and it's just going to make for some fantastic football. I know just from the people I speak to, high school sports fans, they are ripe with anticipation. All 7 teams will go to the playoffs because the Division I playoffs are a closed bracket, and everybody in the Catholic League is guaranteed a spot. But I really think Rummel, Brother Martin, and Curtis could make a lot of noise even in the Class 5A playoff bracket. I give Rummel the edge, a lot of returning players, a lot of good skill players back. Brother Martin, very much similar, with a lot of good skill players back, filling in more holes on their defense. And John Curtis is going to be interesting. I mean, they will be very good, but in terms of previous years, that we'll have to see. They got a big hole at quarterback they're trying to fill. They have 2 great offensive linemen and some solid players back on defense.
All right. Now, when you talk about those teams, you mentioned Rummel at the top of that list. I guess, would they be the one that you think is probably most set up for a deep playoff run?
Sure, because again, we're talking about, I believe, what is it, 10 teams in the bracket? Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's almost like you're going to wind up playing somebody you played in the regular season in the playoffs. So I definitely think Rummel's a team to beat. Now, Martin and Curtis right there with them, and Martin's still got to prove it. I mean, you know, when I've thought about this in our preseason handicapping of the district, I mean, I keep having to kind of slap myself occasionally. Are you really going to pick John Curtis 3rd in a district in football? So it's going to be certainly going to be interesting. I think it's going to be exciting. And if we use history as a barometer, I mean, John Curtis has been to 19 consecutive state finals. Mm-hmm. So it would be hard to bet against them not being there come the December.
All right. Now, are there any other storylines that we're going to want to watch once the Catholic League play kicks off?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Catholic League from top to bottom is going to be has 7 good teams. Holy Cross has one of the best running backs certainly in the state, and is nationally ranked as a prospect, and I'm talking about Trey Turner. Mm-hmm. The Tigers have a bunch of returning starters back. They're in their 2nd season under coach Eric Robato. I mean, I look for them to do some big things. They were 5 and 6 a year ago. To me, maybe one of the more interesting teams to watch will be Jesuit, who's the reigning Division I state champions. Mm-hmm. But the Blue Jays and Coach Mark Songi and his staff are replacing a boatload of starters, including a bunch of the skilled players that factored mightily into their success a year ago, along with several really good defensive players. So Coach Songi and his staff believe that they are plugging in good players, and that they are very optimistic, and I don't have any reason to disagree. But again, some of them many of those players moving in are basically unproven. That would leave us with Shaw and St. Augustine. Mm-hmm. Shaw can probably play with any team in the state for a half, maybe 3/4. Depth is their issue, and that's where it's likely to take a toll on them. But I mean, how can you not love Trey Regis. I mean, I talked about Trey Turner, but Trey Regis, in my mind, is the best running back in the state, and certainly a top prospect in the South. They have a really good quarterback back in Matt Keller. So the Eagles, I mean, no one will be able to take a night off when they play Shaw. And then finally in St. Augustine, talent-wise, their cupboard is not bare, far from it. Really good junior quarterback back in Justice McCoy. One of the things that you got to take with a grain of salt is, you know, here they are with a new coaching staff. Anytime, I don't care what level it is, you replace a coaching staff, that it becomes something that you have to kind of wait and see on, you know, how the job they do, how the kids respond to them. Now, Coach Al Jones is St. Augustine's new coach, is a St. Augustine alum. You know, he's a well-respected gentleman, and I've heard from spring practices from other coaches, you know, some very positive reports on their workouts and stuff. So St. Aug won't be an easy out either.
All right. Well, folks, that's about all the time we're going to take from you today. From Mike Strom, I'm Amos Morale III. Thanks for watching.